Guys, so here's our this is our second project, right? We want to build a responsive website. So we'll start by building a responsive website. We have done a form, we've developed a form, and then we managed to host that form on W3 Schools website. So there's a platform that you can use to host your website there on W3 Schools, right? So now what we're gonna do is just like a simple website, right? A responsive website. Meaning, what we mean by a responsive website, it's a website that when you're using a laptop, it appears nicely. Like you can clearly see the pictures, you can clearly see the layout of the website, and then also when you change maybe to a smaller device, still the look and the feel of the website, it doesn't get affected by the change of the size of the device or the change of the size of the screen, so it doesn't get affected. So a responsive website is the one whereby when you change all of these sizes of the devices, it still looks good, still looks perfect, right? So that's what we want to do now. We just want to build a simple website, and then the thing is with this website, right, is gonna it's a long process like building the website, even though it's a simple website. But so I don't want my videos to be long, right? So that it get boring if the video is long, right? So I'll just make like three parts of this website. So now I just want to start with the main important part, main and important part, which is like the navigation part. So the skills that you're going to get from this video are the skills that you're going to maybe to use to build any website that you want. For example, most of the website that you're going to build, you're going to have like a navigation bar, you're going to have like the navigation menu, you're going to have like the picture of the, let's say, the company, the organization that you're building the website for. So that's what I want to take you guys through now, right? So here is the website that I've built already. So I just want to show you the source code, how to go through building that source code, right, until the end of the website. So now this is the source code, and then I have my picture. So what I usually do is I put everything on one folder, right? The pictures that are going to be on the source code are going to appear on the website before I even start hosting. So for this video, we're not going to talk about hosting, right? Because we're just starting with this project. So we're going to talk about when you're working on this project. So all these pictures that we're going to use, the pictures that are going to appear on the website when we're building the website, I always make sure that they are all in the same folder, right, with my source code. So here's my source code, right? I can even use that, the index. Why is it index.html.html? Okay, there's a mistake there, but I can use this one, right? So I just want to quickly show you what we were supposed to build, how our website is supposed to look like in the end, right? It's a simple website. So as you can see, here's our website, right? So Quarter Zone Restaurant, there's a navigation menu. So all of the websites that we're going to build, they're going to need this menu. So once you know how to build, how to design, how to develop this menu, then when you're starting a different website, then it's going to be easy for you to do that, right? So as you can see, we have the menu there, and then we have this part. So this is going to be on part one. So this video, this building of this website is going to have like three parts, right? The first part is this part, and the second part is this, and then the last part will be this one. So it's going to be separated into three parts, right? So now let me quickly do this. Okay, so there's the menu there. So basically, we want to start with this part. So part one will be based on this. So which text editor am I going to use? So this video, I'm assuming that you've watched some of my previous videos, and then some of the videos that were created by Solomzi, where he took you through the basics on choosing choosing the correct text editor, and then onto like how to create the headings, how to go through it. He took you through the different takes that we have there. So for now, I'm assuming that you already understand how the different takes, right? So okay, so let me do this. Let me open a code editor. So here's my code editor somewhere here. I do have Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to be relying on Visual Studio Code, right? So that's the one that I'm going to use to build the website, right? So Visual Studio Code. So just close all these. So here's my my IDE, right? I think I've taken you guys through the IDE, how to build, how to download the IDE, and then how to use it. So I want to start there. So click on File, and then New File. I want to create a new file, right? The HTML file I'm going to use. So I'm gonna need okay, I'm gonna start with the HTML file, new, there, and then ask you to choose a language. Select a language that you want to use. I want to use an HTML, and then after that we can use the CSS. There's my HTML, right? And then file. I want to save that. Where do you want to save these? Let me say, let's say part 1. Sorry, part 1 HTML, right? So part 1 HTML, and then save it. Where am I saving it? I'm saving it inside this folder, the HTML folder, desktop HTML folder, in case I start looking for it, right? So I know where it is now, right? As you can see, the path is the desktop HTML. There's the name, right? So when you all know that by now you know that when you're developing a website, right, you gotta start with this line, right? Wonder if I could type there, and then doc type, which is a declaration, right? Doc type, and then HTML. We're telling the browser, by this line, we're telling the browser that this file is written by using HTML, right? And then HTML, which is the root tag. You already know about this root tag. So the next one is the head, right? This is where you find your metadata in. So we have the head. What else do I need? Sorry, let me quickly do this. And then after the tag, the head, you just want my body. So after the tag, I just want my body. So let's say this is the body. So under the body, everything that you see displayed, everything that the user will see is under this body, right? So everything that the user, when they go through your website and then they see appearing on the Chrome or on any browser that they're using, it will be under this body. So as you're noticing now, we have like the opening tag and then the closing tag. I don't want to talk about that because there's a video that's covering the different tags, the opening tags and then the closing tags, which tags come in with the opening tag, which tags don't have the opening tag, right? So file save. If you make any changes, you can say file save, file and then save, or Control S just to save that. Okay, so now I'm inside the body, right? I just want to start with the development of my web page, right? So let me quickly do this. Let me say file, save, right? I just want to show you how it appears now. Where did I save it? It went straight to HTML, and then part 1, right? We saved it as part 1. So I'm looking for it under here. Must be, there it is, right? So as you can see, once I double click it, once I open it, there is nothing that is appearing because inside the body, there is nothing inside the body. But once we start typing information, adding information inside the body tag, inside this part, then you'll see that information is going to appear on the browser. Okay, div and then class. By now you know the div and the class. If you don't know that part, so what I can do is there is this resourceful website. It has all the information that you need. If you want more information about, let's say wanting more information about, I don't want to log in now. Okay, let me just say tutorials. Let me say learn HTML. Okay, I don't want to take time on this. Okay, let's say if you want more information on that, you're going to go to that website. You're going to go to that website. So now div class equals, and then we say banner, and then there's the closing tag there, right? So I'm going to show you what the banner I'm going to use it for. So, and then the next one will be the header. I just need a header. And then inside the header, I just want to do a div, right? And then say class. And then what's the name of your class? So anything that's inside the class is the one that I'm going to use to style my any div that I've created, right? So I have class, restaurant, only if I could type restaurant, and then there is a div there, closing tag for div, and then let's say quarter zone. So quota zone restaurant, here it is, right? And then let me see, what else am I missing now? I need, say, another div. I'll explain what those divs are for. Class equals the navigation bar. By now, let me be consistent with this closing tag. There we go. Nav, right? And then under this, so just right under there, I will need the you remember we said we have like the two types of list, right? We have the UL, which is the unordered list, and then closing tag, and then inside with the unordered list and then the ordered list, right? So there's a video for that. I'll drop in the link to that video so you can understand the difference between the ordered list. So unordered list, I want to create an unordered list, and then I want to rely inside here, I want to rely on the anchor tag, right? Just to create the links, like links for home, right? And then, so that's my navigation bar that side. And then home, and then let's do this. Let's say home, and then I'm a lazy person, right? So I just want to copy this. I want to copy that. Just say copy, and then say Control V, Control V, Control V. How many do I need? So, and then I come here and then I change this part. Say the first one is for the menu, and then the menu, and then this side, what we have here, usually gonna have like about us, say about us, and then I change that about us, and then there. So these are the navigation part, right? Say expect, or you can say owner. Maybe that should be the information about the owner of the restaurant. Expect, and then let me see if I'm missing out anything there. Okay, let me just leave it like this now, and then say, because I told you that once you make some changes to this, you need to save it, right? So you can see I have a div class there, which is equals to my banner, which is going to be in charge of all of the banner is covering all of this, right? As you can see, the closing tag for banner is there, and then the header, there is my header covering all of that. Class restaurant. So if I want to style this, I will use the restaurant class there, and then the navigation part, if I want to style my entire navigation part, then I can use that nav there, right? So let me say file, save, and then I go to my source code. Here's my source code, right? So, but I've already opened it before here. Where was it? There is part, and then I just need to refresh that. As you can see, there it appears, but there is something missing in there, right? Maybe I forgot to type in something there. There is my Dakota Zone restaurant, right? And then there's the home. There is some information there, and then you can see something's missing. So we have to go back to the source code. We check. As you can see, there is something missing there, right? So we say the first one is gonna be, the first one was home, and the second one is menu. Okay, there is a tag called menu. So now the system thinks that I want to use that tag. I don't want to use the tag menu. I just want to use the word menu. All right, so there it is. And then let me say file, save, and then let me refresh this and see if I managed to add that. There it is, but there is a space in between those. I don't like that. Then you go back to the source code and then try to see where was the mistake. Oh, there it is, the mistake there. Let me delete that, and then file, And I say save and see if that will make any difference on my, why am I double clicking that? Okay, now you can see the problem is fixed there, right? So this is, you can see what we have now. We have quota zone restaurant, which is this part here, quota zone restaurant. So the HTML is just like for the structure, for the layout, right? We're going to need CSS to style all of these, right? You can see where it is now by default is there. This is what we have, and then this is what we have this side, right? So this is what we want our website to look like in the end, right? So we want this quota zone to be that side at the left side, and then the navigation part to be on the right side, and then also the text here, change the size, or we can also change the color of that, and then also this part here needs to be edited using the CSS, right? Need to be styled using CSS. All right, so you can see every browser has its own default settings, right? So these are the default settings. So we're going to change that. So for now, we have all that information that we need. Let me see if we need to add more now. So we have all that, right? So now what I want us to do, want to remove the default settings. All right. So again, we need CSS for moving this around this part and then that part, aligning properly there, and then also changing all that information, changing the colors, changing the font family, changing the font size. So I want to use CSS now to remove the to start the editing part of my my website, right? So this is where we start now. Let's go to the top there, somewhere here. So under head, I want to, so we have internal CSS, right? Internal, we have whereby, this is whereby your CSS file or your CSS styling or your CSS code will be added within the same page where you have your HTML. And then external, this is whereby you have a separate page for CSS, and then you just like reference using a link to say, okay, the CSS file is on a different platform, right? So, but for this small website, we will use, okay, we're going to use both. We're going to start with the internal. And then also you have like the CSS inline. Inline is whereby you apply the CSS styling within the line. But what we're using now is CSS internal, right? So we need the style for that CSS part, and then you see the closing tag for CSS. So now I just want to, I want to move this around, right? So I want to remove the default settings there. As you see, these are the default settings for the Chrome browser. And then we have, so when once all of your CSS styling must be inside this style. And then where did I add the style? Is under the head, inside the head tag. As you can see, style and then style closing tag, they're inside the head. Okay, so now I just wanna, so I wanna start with this. Let me remove the defaults, right? Let me just quickly say remove the margin, and then make my margin to be 0. You'll see all that information will change. And then my padding 0. And then don't forget to save those changes. Once you make any changes, try to save that. Right, let me, sorry, what did I do there? There is undo, Control Z. Right, okay. So, okay, I'm gonna put my star for everything there. Okay. Okay, file, save. I got my star there. Let me check this side. Once I've saved, I can go to my browser, the browser that you're using, try to refresh that. You can see the default settings has been removed by the browser. Right. So I removed the padding. Let me see again. I removed the margin and then forgot the padding. So I was asking myself what's happening there. Why is not the padding changed? Okay, so padding 0, margin 0. So you can check now, refresh that. You can see we have removed that, right? So we're gonna make our own changes there. So we've removed the default settings. So back to this website, right? Back to the source code. As you can see, we have this banner, right? And then also we have this restaurant. So we wanna start by moving the restaurant part to the left side, right? So when I start by moving this word, quarter zone restaurant, which is the one that's inside here, when I move it to the top left, right? And then the navigation part going to be moved to the top right. So now, as you can see down here, I have this. Okay, let me do this. Why can't I just add this on the side? Okay, so I have this on my side. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see the entire screen. Okay, you won't be able. So let me just quickly do this. On the CS, under the style part there, I want to add the CSS part, and then so dot restaurant. Where am I getting that? Restaurant. Spelling is only if I could spell restaurant. So you can see this is the part that I'm calling now, right? But I don't know why is it not changing the color, because it's supposed to change color. If it's not changing color like this, it's usually gonna give you problems. Okay, it's fine. Let's leave it like that. So now I want to style this. I want to move this to the left top corner, right? So I don't call this right directly. I call it using the class. So the class is restaurant. So I'm calling the restaurant. Just make sure that the spelling of your restaurant down here and there at the top is the same, so that you know that okay, you are correctly styling. You are styling the correct line that you want to style, right? So this is the line that I want to style, quarter zone, right? So I've called it using the style, using the class. So restaurant, you can see, is giving me a problem there. It might have an issue with my spelling somewhere, somehow. So restaurant, no, I don't have an issue with the spelling. So I just want to change the color of the text, right? So when I start with my color, change it. I want to change the color. So you can use the, you can type in the color that you want in there, or you can use the, what you call this? I forgot the term, bro. Okay, there we go. Let's say font size, and then 24 pixel. And then that's the font size, right? That's your font size, like similar to what you do in Word, where you change the font size. So I'm changing the font size of the heading. So you'll see what happens. The font size, and then the padding, just a space from that side. Let's say padding. What I like about this text editor, the Visual Studio Code, you see, like, it's very intuitive, and then also it's very, it tells you, like, it's autocomplete, right? If you type in PAD, like, it's autocomplete for you. It picks up, okay, maybe this is what you want to say, this is what you want to add there, and then it gives you that information. Okay, we have that 24 pixel. That's the padding. And then, okay, before let me remove this. Let me save. I changed the color. I've changed the font size. Right, let me show you what I have changed, I said, before I complete everything. So here it is, right? Let me save that. You see the color is white, so you can't see it there at the back, right? Right, let me just to show you the color, right? Let me make it green. I don't know what's the green color. Okay, there. Let me say file, save, and then you'll see that now the color is changed. Say there it is, right? So for now we're going to keep it green so that you can see it there. You can see the color has changed, the size also has changed. So how did we change that? We're using CSS to style this part. So CSS, we are relying on CSS to style that. Okay, so we've changed the font size, and then the font size, and then the color. And then now what we need to change is the padding. You will notice something. What is padding? Before I even explain to you what that is, let's say 20 pixels. Start with the padding, and then let me say enter, file, save, or Control S if you prefer that. So you see the padding now. It's the space around the text, space around the content. It has moved from the top there, moved it to the center. It's fine, which is 20 pixels. That is what we call the padding. So if you want to learn more about the padding, the margins, this is the website to learn that. So let me say courses Okay, let me, you can click this side, say tutorials, you'll see all of the courses, right? Come on. So if you want to learn about CSS, you can find CSS information there. So you can see that's information about CSS. Let me see. So the margin and the padding. So let me show you the padding. So this element is a padding of 70 pixels. So that's the space around there. Let me see if we have an example there. There was a box. I'm sure that box you find it under HTML. HTML is the one that is like that. HTML, CSS. Let's see. Does it have that part of the padding? Okay, so the padding you're gonna find it under CSS there. Right. Look for margins. So margins are used to create space around elements outside of any defined borders, right? That's what you find there. And then down here under the padding is used to create space around an element's content inside of any defined borders, right? So you can, if you want to learn more about paddings, you can come on this part and then you will learn more about the padding, the margin and all that. Okay, padding, so we say 20 pixel, and then font weight. I just want to change my font weight. Make it 600. And then the float, I want to make it float to the left, right? Float is that part where you want it to float to the left. So the navigation part, we're going to say float to the right because we want it to go to the right. So once I'm done, I say Control S, but I just want to show you that I saved that. So I go to File, then Save, because I've made some changes there. Where's the browser? And then there it is. So you can see I've got the zone restaurant there. And then now I want to take this and push it to, I want it to float to the left. And then also change the font family, change the font color, font weight. Those are things that you want to change, right? So that's what you want to change right now. Okay, so now let me see what I need to add. So I've changed that. Let me see. So now I just want to add a background image. As you can see that there's no background image. I want to start with the background image before I move this to the left. I want to add a background image, right, so that we can see the background image nicely at the back, right? So I want to use the CSS to add my background image. So there is this part that says the banner. So I want to call in this class and then add the image behind the banner there. So let's say, just want to make that neat, look neat, and then dot. Any class you start with a dot, right? You start with a full stop, right? Banner. So when you're calling a class, so as you can see down here, we have class restaurant, class banner, class name. So if you're calling a class, you start with a full stop and then banner. Full stop, or you call it a period, or whatever you call it, but you have to start with that part. Period, background image. I want to start with the background image. I want to add an image, right? So you're going to say URL just for the image, and then inside there you add the image. If the image is in the same path with your source code or in the same folder with your source code, what you do is you just type the name of the image. If the image is in a different folder, then you have to type the full path. So I want to choose an image that is in the same folder here. So you can see my source code is here, and then I just want to choose a picture that's already here. So let me say restu.jpg. Let me choose this image, right? So I don't have to specify the entire path to this picture because it's in the same folder with my source code. So I just type in the name there. So that's why I always prefer your source code to be in the same folder with your pictures, right? Makes your work easy. JPG, right? And then that's how you add an image. You'll see that. Okay, background attachment. So I want to edit my background. I want to style my background image. Then attachment, background attachment, and then we say fixed, or you You can choose any there. I want it to be fixed. Again, if you want to learn more about this, go to that website, W3 Schools, right? Here, I'm just showing you how to build this website. And then, especially for people that don't have time to learn about programming, but they just want to build a website. So this is how you go about it. Background. Background what? I need a size. Background size, say cover. And then background position. Background position. I don't want that X. I want a background position. And then center. Center. And then height of the picture. So we're starting the picture, right? The background there. And also height. And then 50 ph. Right. Let me save that and see if I manage to add my background picture, and then see if it looks proper. Let me say. So you can see I don't have a background picture. So now I have to debug, find out what is the problem, right? So I said banner there, ratio dot jpg. Seriously, is that so? I have to check the extension of the picture now. Just make sure, see the picture is JPEG, right? And then I said JPG. So let me fix that and see if that will work. Let me say JPEG, and then let's say file, save. But the good part of the Visual Studio Code, if the picture is in the same folder with the source code, it picks up the picture. You can see now it picks it up now. There it is, right? So there was no need for me to get it wrong in the first time. I was supposed to get it right, because the minute I start typing this, it picks it up. Then I have to just click the picture there. Sorry, what happened there? I thought so. Raise you and then just enter. So it has to pick. It easily picks up that. So if the picture is already in the same folder with the source code, it's easy. You won't like miss the picture. You won't make mistakes that are like the one that I just made now, right? So that's how you avoid those mistakes. Save. Let's see if there's any difference there. So you see, that was the only issue that I had there. So now what I need to do is I need this part now. We have managed to add a background picture. How did we add a background picture? We used this code here. We called the banner, right? As you can see that all of this part is inside that, because that's the opening tag, and then the closing tag is down there. Right, so all of it is inside that part. So now I just want to quickly show you something. I want to move these. That's the next step, right? I want to float these to the left, right? I want to float this part to the left, not to the left. The left is this side. Okay, my right. I want to float it to the right. Sorry. Okay, so again, how do we float it? So where is our? So we call this a list. So we have this list here, but it is using a class called the nav. So I want to call the header and then the nav, and then just want to float that. Where's my source code? Right, so header and then dot nav. Where's nav? Right. So start with the float. I want to float to the right. Float to the right. And then next thing is padding. Padding 20 pixels. And then what we have to do now, save file, and then we save that. Let's see something. Let me see something if we manage to move that to the right. Let's see. You see, there it's on the right side. So we've managed to push that to the right. But now what we need to do is we want it to be on the one line there, the one sentence, not to be like that. But we've managed to push it to the right. So we all still need to put it on one line there on the side, on the right side. Okay, let's see one line there. Let's see what we have to do now. Okay, I'd also like to change the, before I do that, before I properly line, let me work on the body. So the body, I need the font family for the body, font family for my body. So you can see I'm calling the body tag there, and then I say font family. I always prefer the Poppins, man. Poppins. Why does it? It doesn't matter. Doesn't care about the spelling sans serif. So I'm writing 2. If this one is not there, then can use that, right? So that's the font family that I want for my entire web page. So let's say header. So this any of these, if this one is not there, this one becomes the main font family of the web page. So now I have the header. I want to control now. What I want to do now, where is that page? I want this to be on one line, and then also I want to change the color of this. I want to change the font size, the font family of this, and then align it properly there on the side, right? So I have to call it one by one, right? I have to call it using starting with this tag. Okay, I start with the header, move to the unordered list, and then list to this part, which is the list, and then go inside the anchor tag, right? So that's what we want to do at the top there. Where are we? We're supposed to be somewhere here, right? UL and then LI and anchor tag. So there we are. And then we say text decoration. We say none, right? Removing all that text decoration, and then color. I want to add color to my. Let's make it match green, right? So because our company name, which is the Kota Restaurant Zone, we made it to be green, so they all must match. And then font, we're going to change it later. So if you don't like the colors, you're going to change the colors on your own by your own time, right? 600. Once you have this first, and then like font size, 18 pixel, and then padding, 10 pixel. Five pixels, and then let me save that and see if I manage to style my. Come on, where is it? So you see how it was like at the beginning. So now let me just refresh that. See, now change color at least, right? Similar to that, but it's still on this side, right? I want it to be on the one line, not to be like that, right? Because remember our original website, this is it. So they must look like this, right? So here's ours there. It's kind of looking close to this one. Let's see. So where's my source code? Back to my source code. So where is my body? So let me just quickly, okay, let me just edit it in down here. So I'll say there's my header, there's my unordered list, there's my list, and then what else do I want? That curly braces, and then say display inline block, the inline block, and then let me save file, and then save that, and then see how it is now. But now I say display inline block. Let me see if it will align nicely like this. It will be on one line, right? So this part, which is the display inline block, is the one that is supposed to, we'll see if it allow it, it's supposed to change this part and then move it, make it look like this one there, right? Let me refresh that and see. Okay, perfect. There it is, right? As you can see. So that line, the display inline block, it does that for us. So we are getting there, right? As you can see, it's closer to looking like this. So the only part that is missing now is this part, right? But we've managed to add the navigation part, that part, and then that part. All right. So, okay, the colors, I don't like the colors. It looks green. Why is it green? If we change the colors, right, we can make it white now. So white in hexadecimal is, let me see if I can get it right using the hexa. There, so you can see the sample there is white. Let me see the top, because my company name and then navigation menu must look the same, right? Let me say hashtag FF there and then save. Okay, I was here and then I said save, and then I come this side. Oh, that's the font. So I say refresh. You can see now change. It looks white. I think white is better. Okay, I'm not good with styling and stuff like that, like giving like a proper feel. Especially I'm not good with the colors, right? So if you're good with the colors, you know which color will go nicely with this one, right? Would match what we have there on your restaurant, right? Okay, so back to the source, back to the source code here. So now what we're gonna do is to add more information, right? Um, okay, I wanna add before let me start with adding the where's my source code? Where's my main page, right? You can see when I hover on this one, it changes color, right? When you move your mouse to top of that, it changes color. Let's see if it does that on ours. See, it doesn't change color. So how do you make this to change color? Again, we have to go to our CSS platform, and then let's do this. Let's say header, right? And then UL, LI for the list, and then A, and then say hover. Just giving me information that I don't need right now. Say A, enter, anchor, and then hover, right? And then just quickly Kelly braces, header, you another at least say color, and then aqua, any color will do. So I'm just adding colors, like I'm just trying to add a lot of colors. Just any color that you prefer will do. Transition time, transition. How long does it take for the system to transition from the current color the minute you hover on top of it? So 0.6 seconds, and then I say file, save that part, and then let me say save, and then you can see now as you hover, changes color. I don't like the color. If you don't like the color, let me say brown. Let me see if it will. Let me say brown. Let me file, and then I save that, and then let's see, refresh, and then see brown. That's cool, right? So now what I want us to add is the this part here. So immediately after header, I just want to add some BR. I'm sure by now you know what BR is for, right? BR tag. Let me BR, and then BR, and then BR. Okay, I don't have time. Like, let me quickly just copy that, and then Control V, file, save. I created some space for myself there. And then down here, just want to create a div class for my content, right? So this is what I want to add now. This is the part that I want to add now. I want to add this part now, right? Okay, let me quickly see if I can do it within. Say div class. I want to make it my class will be content because that's the content there, right? And then a heading which is H1. Let's say quota zone restaurant, right? But I want my K to be red, right? Let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you check here, oh, this one is not red. So I want my K to be red. You see this part is red, but on our side it's not red. So we want to only make the red part to be red, and then also make this part, the K, the Z, the R to be red. So we're going to use a tag called the span, right? So I want to use span just to focus on that part. And then, so put K inside the span there, as you can see. And then, so let me do this, delete that, and then say span, as you can see, and then Z will be inside that part. And then let me say span, and then this, wait, what is that now? What is that? Okay, this last part is restaurant, so I deleted restaurant for what? Restaurant. Okay, got the zone. So the first letters are the ones that are inside span, because I only want to edit. So span comes in handy. Let's say you don't want to edit the entire, you don't want to style the entire word, but there's maybe one letter that you want to style. Then you can use span to style that specific word. Okay, so I have span there, and then also I want, where is that part? Where is that part? So here, this part, I also want to use span there. Span. And then in the end we had rent inside there. All right, so that's cool. Okay, I got the zone restaurant, and I need a paragraph now. I really don't have time. Let me just copy a paragraph on the side here. So I need to add a paragraph. So p tag, and then Control V. So just a paragraph, right? You can copy anything online. You're gonna add your actual text after we have developed the website, but for now we're just adding any text there. So you can see I have the header one. Where are we getting this? So this is the header one for this part, right? And then the paragraph is for this part, right? So we need these two. Okay, let me see. So we have the quota is there, and then that's the paragraph is there at the top. So now what I want to do is I want to quickly style all the span, right? I want to make it red. So down here, just call span. No need for full stop on span. And then we just say color. So all of the letters that are inside span, you can choose any color. Let me make them ballyhoo. What color is that? Ballyhoo. Okay, let me say file, save, and then let me refresh this. So this part must change now. Let me say refresh. Okay, you see change. It's not clear, so let's make it red so that we'll clearly see. And then you also can see that there's a problem down here. There's no zone. There's only Z. There's no O and E. All right, but first let's start with the color first. Fix the color, make it red. Right, looks better. Okay, and then also I want to fix something here. See, I forgot to add zone there, so must be quota zone. And then only the first letters must be the ones that are inside the span part. All right, let me say file, save, because I've made changes there. And then let me say refresh, so you can see it changes color to red there, right? So I want now this to move to the center, right? So CSS comes in handy for styling, so we can move this to the center. Okay, let me go back to the source code. Let me see something here. Or if I do this, say copy line break just for space under there. All right, and then now let me say file, save, and then see if there's any difference on this part. Oh no, I don't want that. Where's my line break now? Oh, the picture now. Where is my picture? So for now, I just want to comment this one out. Okay, let me just delete this part for now, right? The height part. Let me see something, and then say save. Because I want my let me say, all right. For now, let's leave it there. So for now, I just want this part. We want to move this part to the center there. Okay, let's do this. I want to style it. So we're gonna call the content, right? So where are we now? We're somewhere here, right? So which part do you want to style? So as you can see, class content. So we want to style all of this. We want to move the H1 to the center, the paragraph to the center. So we're going to call the content part, say content. Thank you. I just want to say content, and then color. What color is Azure? Okay. Microsoft color Azure. Font size, and then 15 pixels. Right, that's the font size of that content. And then the padding, so we're gonna move it from that side. Sorry, the padding is gonna be 20 pixels. And then the font weight is gonna be 600. Text align, center, right? Because we want it in the center there. And then let's say 4, and then we save that. Let's check something here. So you can see we have managed to move this to the center. So it really kind of like does look like this. So the only thing that is missing here is this part. So for now, I'm just going to leave it here. So you can see now we've managed to move this to float to the left, and then this part float to the right. And then if you hover on it, you now know how to make how to change the colors of the text once you hover on them, right? So we're hovering on the links, and then you can see they changing color. And then we also managed to line them nicely here using the display inline block. And then I want to quickly also show you something. Let's say inspect. So once we say inspect, you can see we have this inspect tool here. So as you can see down here, so we started with our HTML tag, right? And then down here we have the head, under head. Okay, this is the style. I don't want to check the style for now. I want to check what's inside the body. So you see div class banner. So banner, once I hover on the banner, it's just the entire thing. It's the entire part here. The banner covers the entire this part. So you can see once I move over on it, it covers that entire part. And then down here, so it's referring, the banner is referring to that. And then header, see the restaurant part, the class restaurant referring only to the part that is highlighted on the top, this side quarter zone. So class only that. So the reason why I add the class is so that I can be able to control these individually or control them as a group, right? Style them as a group, right? And then down here we have the navigation. And then if I scroll down a bit, okay, navigation, you can see now it's moving to this part, the navigation part, right? And then you can see here separately, we can also control this separately. See the first one, there it is, which is the home. Second one, which is the menu. Third one, which is about us. And then the last one, which is experts, right? So we have this can be controlled individual. And then this part now, how did we manage to control it? Let's check if we have, so we have the content, right? You can see we have our entire content there, right? Once I hover on this, and then you can see the padding, all that information about that content test. And then once I click on this part, you can see here the one I can also individually control the H1 there. And then the paragraph, there it is, right? And then let me drop down arrow. We also have the span there. You can see the span for K, span for Z, span for that arrow there. And then also down here, there it is, right? So this is the first part. We are done. We've written a code, a web HTML and the CSS for this part, and then that part, and then that part, right? And then if you want to learn more about the padding, I said you can come to this part, teach you more about the margins, teach you more about the padding. And then did we use a link? Where there are the links. If you want to learn any more about links, you can click on this part. You can learn more about the links, the different links that you can have. That you can create the list. We also created a list. If you want to learn more about list, you can come this site and then learn more about the list, right? Different list for the circle, the square, all of this information that when you want it. What else did we use? Display. Do we have display here? Must be down here somewhere here. But at least the padding, the margins, the list, the links, those are things that we have added on our web page. Okay, so now this is the first part. I'm going to do the second part of this. Thank you guys.